This weekend we are in Davidson River Campground in Pisgah National Forest right outside Brevard, North Carolina. This is a great little campground that we've been coming to, so today I'm going to show you some of the things I like about this campground and some of the things to do in the area around here, and one thing that we don't really like. So come along, let's do a tour of spot 118 on the Hemlock Loop at Davidson River Campground. We have hammocks right here. Has a perfect 3 trees for our tent style hammocks that we love to bring, so everything fits perfectly right there. But if you look at the spot, it's absolutely huge. You have a fire ring right in the middle and a picnic table right here. Holds up a lot of nice stuff. Actually, the picnic table is new. And then over here it has a huge pad for 2 tents. So we have 2 really big tents that are fit on this pad. We have no issues. There's even some room to spare. Right here is where you park your vehicle. You do back in. The loop goes that way when you drive. The bathroom is right over there. It's not very far at all. And then if you come this way, the cool part about this spot is that you have access to the creek right down here. So this spot does not have any power. If you stay on the inside loop, they do have power. But there's the trail right here. If you cross the trail, it'll take you right down to the creek right over here. So you're very close to the creek. You can come down here, go swimming, do all the stuff that you want to do during the day, swimming, tubing, fishing, and you're right down here. You can't really hear the creek from the campsite, but when you come down here, it's definitely louder. You can hear the cars that drive by. I'm sure you hear them once in a while. So you do hear cars when they drive by at this spot. So let's talk about the camp store. There is no camp store at this campground. There is a little center where you check in and check out, and they do sell wood and they do sell ice, but that's it. But like I've said, the city is really close. It doesn't take you more than 5 minutes to get there, and you can buy everything you need. So they're probably just banking on you going there. So here's the bathrooms on the Hemlock Loop. So there's a restroom, shower, restroom, and so they're all individual. They're all very clean. They're very nice. And if you have a campsite right here, you are right next to the bathroom. They're individual showers too, so you're not sharing a bathroom with anybody. You have your own private shower and your own private bathroom. Every time you go in, there's a toilet, a sink, and soap and hand drying. So it's really nice, especially for like a non-state park. So it's been kept really clean. I don't know who cleans it, but it's been clean every time that we've been here and every time that we go in there. So we haven't had any problems with that. Some of the bathrooms look a little bit older, so they might have a little bit more issues than the ones on the Hemlock Loop, but those ones have been great, and we haven't done anything with them. Oh, thanks, yeah. So the biggest downfall of this campground is the main road is right there. As you can hear, there's motorcycles, there's cars, they drive by all the time. And so you just kind of get used to it. So it's not a very quiet campground. The campers and the people are pretty quiet. That's not the problem. It's that the road is right next to the campground. There's a river, and then there's a road, and the cars that come by are just loud. Especially in the middle of the night, there are people just flying by on their motorcycles, which they're having fun, but it's not, it doesn't make the campground very quiet. See, here comes another big truck. I don't know if you can hear it. So now let's talk about booking. They do 6 months in advance. So if you want to book this time of year, it's really hard. We were talking to some people that were here, and almost everybody here is booked 6 months ago. Some of the people got lucky. They had friends that were going to come, and then they decided not to come, so they took their spot. So a lot of it just comes down to really planning ahead. They have a few spots, I think, that we're walking, and one time we came and they let us like wait out front if we wanted to wait for someone to leave. We ended up not doing that, but we booked these 6 months ago, and that's how we got a spot. But if you're gonna come, that's really the only way to get a spot here. There are a lot of things to do around here. There is a fish hatchery that you can go see some of the fish that they stock the river with. Some of the trout, it's really cool. It has a little fish museum. I know they were renovating it, so I'm not exactly sure when it reopens, but it had a little museum of fish. You can see what they have. There's graveyard fields that have natural blueberries. You can go up there and pick up to a gallon of blueberries, and it is one of the few places where you can pick blueberries out of the national park that are free. The town, which is close, we went and got supper, at a barbecue place, and then we went across the street to an ice cream place. That was really good. Normally we don't do that, but when you're only 3 minutes away from the city, that makes it nice. I say city, Brevard is not that big of a city. The campground is located in Pisgah National Forest at 2,150 feet. The weather has been really nice. We've been here and it's rained. Usually the day starts really nice, and then those the afternoon thunderstorms, kind of like this area that you're gonna get all through the summer. We haven't had any rain this trip. The weather is a little bit cooler down here, which is nice. It didn't get that cold last night. We were probably mid 60s, so it wasn't even cold in our tents. The night before did get to about 57, so a little bit cooler. We've got the swim area. We've got rope swing over here. We've got people jump in the water over here, people fishing in the morning. But it's got this cool built watch area, picnic benches, some sitting benches, just to sit and watch your kids swim, keep everybody safe. But it's set up really well. It does become a lot of people swimming here in the afternoon. But in the morning, it's nice and calm and just people fishing away. There are a lot of hiking trails around this area. There's the Art Loeb Trail, and that's about 12.3 miles. There's another trail, the North Slope Trail, it's about 3.7 miles. And there is a 1.5 mile walking trail, the one that goes along the river right over here. And in the river you can do trout fishing, tubing, swimming. It's really easy just to hang out. It is pretty cold though. This is the English Chapel. This little church in the valley by the Wildwood was founded in 1860 by Reverend A.F. English, a Methodist circuit rider. The preacher's father-in-law, Strawbridge Young, gave land to the church for a token $5. Reverend English sawed lumber for the building at his Avery Creek mill and donated it to the church. All right, I found this little rock to hang out on, so we're gonna talk real quick about cell phone coverage. We are only about 1.5 miles from the city of Brevard, so it's not too far, and the coverage there is fine. But when you come down the road towards the campground, I find that we have little to no cell phone coverage. Last year I had almost 0 coverage. This year I am getting about 1 bar with LTE, so it's still very slow and it cuts in and out. We are in the Hemlock Loop, so that's a little bit further down the park. So maybe at the beginning of the park there might be a little bit more near the entrance where you come in. There's a campground loop over there, so it might be a little bit better. But if you're further away from the entrance, I would not bank on there being much cell phone coverage out here. People always ask, how's the cell phone coverage? Because that's just the world we live in nowadays. So I would say, as of right now, it is not the best. And so I would not bank on having cell phone coverage when you are out here. There are 8 loops at this campground. Some of them are located on the river. We are on Hemlock Loop. If you're on the outside of the loop near the river, there's no power or anything, but if you're on the inside loops, then they do have power, and so there are a lot of the RVs on the inside, and on the outside is mostly just tent campers. Also in the area are the Sliding Rock, which is a lot of fun. There's a small fee for that. There's Looking Glass Falls, which is a big waterfall, and then the Blue Ridge Parkway is real close, and that's up where you can go pick blueberries. They do require reservations from basically middle of March to middle of November, and then the rest of the year they do have some walk-up spots. So we haven't been here in the winter yet, but I think that's what we're gonna try to come bring our hot tent, and I think it'd be a great place to use our hot tent because they have really big spots, and I don't know how busy it'll be in the winter, and hopefully cold enough that our hot tent will be useful for us. And we did book online. We used the recreation.com app. It worked really well, and at $35 a night for non-electric, I think it's a steal of a price. And you can actually book one night. A lot of places don't let you book one night, and so that's nice. We always book 2, or sometimes we even book 3, so we can stay later on a Sunday. There has been a lot more bears recently, so you see a lot more signs about camp safety, bear safety, and they have added bear boxes to the campsites, which is really cool. But we didn't really see any bears this time, but last weekend the bears were everywhere, so there's definitely more bears active right now, and they're making a bigger push to make sure you're safe from the bears. So here's one of the bear boxes at campsite 120. As you see, these spots are huge, shaded, private, and then if you come over here, you can see inside the bear box. You open there, a little clip on the inside, and they're very big, and they hold a lot, so they're really cool. Trying to keep people protected from the bears. So overall, this has become one of our new favorite campgrounds, to be honest. We really like that the price has not gotten insane like a lot of the state parks have gotten. It's just getting too expensive at some of the state parks if you're gonna be there a lot. So we really love it here. Also, the swimming area is really nice. We like that we're close to Brevard. We like that it has everything that we need and it's not too busy. The bathrooms are really nice and clean. And so everything here has made our camping experiences a lot of fun. The only downside is the road, which is across the river right there, and it's really loud. But other than that, we have absolutely loved this campground. So now we're gonna do our interview with my kid real quick, and he will tell you what he thinks.
My favorite part of Davidson River is that we get to be really close to the river. So it's really easy to start swimming and have fun. And if you're into skateboarding or biking, that's also pretty fun because it's not rough gravel, it's pretty smooth. So you can skateboard and bike ride all you want down the street.